This segment of DelmarvaLife is brought to you by the YMCA of the Chesapeake.
Well, who could forget this parent's nightmare? In 2012, 3 young boys drowned in the Marshy Hope Creek in Federalsburg. 2 of the boys were 12 years old, and 1 of the boys was 8. Officials say none of the young boys knew how to swim. And drownings happen more often than you think.
Yeah, in fact, they're the 3rd leading cause of death from unintentional injuries in the world. Let's take a look at the numbers right here on Delmarva. In the year 2011, there were 86 deaths due to drowning in the state of Maryland. There are about 20 deaths each year in the state of Delaware and about 110 deaths per year in Virginia. And that's why organizations like the YMCA are so adamant that every child needs to learn to swim. With rivers, lakes, bays, and the ocean, there's water everywhere on Delmarva. And whether a child goes in on purpose or by accident, you want to make sure they're prepared.
A pool can be a great place to have fun, a place to splash and swim with your friends. But for some children, just the thought of jumping in evokes fear.
Many children come here with a terrible fear. They're afraid to get in the water, they're afraid to touch the water, and we know that this community is filled with children who have never been exposed to the water and who don't get a chance to be around a place where they can swim unless it's a place that's not safe for them.
So for over 25 years, the YMCA has partnered with the Wicomico County Board of Education to teach students about water safety. Through a 4-station program, the children learn how to keep themselves and others safe.
The first station is the bobbing and floating station, where they learn to be safe for themselves, where they can learn that if they've fallen into the water or somehow slipped into the water and they're over their head or nearly over their head, they can bob off the bottom and get safely to the side. They can also float and get safely to the side. So we teach them both of those skills.
After they learn how to help themselves, they move on to helping others.
The second station is the reaching and throwing station. And in that station we teach them that if someone is in the water, they shouldn't go after them because they'll be the second victim. So we teach them to reach and throw, but not to go. And we use things that are around the pool and in the area to teach them how to reach out to someone and pull them in, to use their arms and legs, to use a stick around a river or a cornstalk or anything in the area rather than going in and getting them.
Which can come in handy, especially if there just so happens to be a clumsy reporter walking by the pool.
Well, because their natural instinct is to jump in after someone because they've been told to take care of their siblings and their family members, and so they're going to want to jump right in and think that they can help, but then they become the second victim. So we're going to teach them that they need to use things in the area to be able to pull them to safety and to call 911 to get help.
Other things like how to properly use a life jacket are also taught.
We teach them that if you cannot swim, you should always wear a life jacket and stay within arm's reach of an adult. But also that you need to learn how to wear one because if you're ever in a boat, you have to wear one. And that you need to learn how to safely swim in a life jacket.
Last, but certainly not least, is the boating station. While it may look a little strange seeing a canoe in the pool, the kids love it and get a chance to learn basic boating techniques.
All the children love the boating station because they get to ride in a boat. So they learn how to safely get in the boat, how to paddle it, how to turn it around, and how to come back and get out of it safely. And they know that they have to wear a life jacket to do that station.
How many of you have worn a life jacket before?
And of course, the entire program is done under the watchful eyes of trained professionals.
All of our instructors are trained ahead of time before we start in what we want to teach the kids so that everything is the same through every station. We stress all the safety rules in every station. We make sure that they get some free time so they can experience and practice what they've learned without having an instructor right there. We have guards on duty at all times, and we have to practice safety in order for them to learn it.
In the end, seeing a student transform from someone who's afraid of the water to someone who loves it makes it all worth it.
Well, a lot of times they come and you'll see a group of them that are just terrified. They're just holding on to the side, don't want to touch the water. And by the end of the 4 stations, they're the ones that are smiling the biggest and jumping the highest in the water when they have their free time. They learn that the water is a place that you can have fun, but that if you remain safe, that there's no reason to worry and be scared as long as they're following the safety rules.
And over the next few months, over 1,100 Wicomico County students will go through the program. And Lisa, I have to thank my rescuer when I fell in. She was right there to save me.
Well, you need to be a little more careful around the pool. But in all seriousness, it's great that these kids are getting the exposure to the water.
Really is.